Hello, it's Thursday the 31st. I'm FxPlew and this is the closing day month-end market brief. Now, it was good news, bad news yesterday in the UK. On one hand, business optimism is at the highest level seen since the Russian invasion of Ukraine. But on the other hand, housing market activity is 20% lower than it was this time last year. And the Bank of England is behind both of those headlines. Higher interest rates cooling the housing market is pretty logical. But the business optimism, well, that comes from the growing feeling that although inflation remains well above their 2% target, an end to the rate tightening cycle may now be in sight. Optimistic indeed. Meanwhile, the Bank of England has concluded its investigation into inflation-based profiteering. The investigation was to determine whether companies had taken advantage of inflation in order to maintain or improve their profit margins. The Bank of England found no substantial evidence. Instead, they found that profit margins had been squeezed as businesses absorbed additional costs to maintain market share. Now, that all sounds a bit fishy to me, perhaps covering up a bit of cronyism in the background. I'd welcome your thoughts on this one. For example, does anyone know the sample size that they worked with? I don't know. Plenty of questions there. Over in the US, Q2 GDP was revised down to 2%. That was down from 2.2% when the data first came out, and it gave a bit of a knock to the warm and fuzzies about a stateside soft landing. Naturally, it encourages the market to look at everything through a lens of economic downturn now, and today's personal consumption expenditure may well renew market fears of US stagflation, as that data is a precursor to the CPI inflation data due next week. Public sector job creation fell to 177,000 yesterday. That was against a forecast of 195,000, but no longer is that easily explained away as just a sign that the market is cooling in line with Fed expectations. All this puts a much greater significance on tomorrow's non-farm payroll number. Current forecast is for about 170,000 new jobs, which is down from 187,000 seen in July. But the reactionary doom mongers fear that this may be the month that rate hikes finally bite, and we're in for a much weaker data release. So hashtag Team Under, that had a better turnout last time around, and the trend may be set to continue in this month's sweepstake. Do tune in tomorrow to play along. In the market, the dollar reacted badly to the GDP revision. The dollar index dropped to 102.90, and this helped sterling up to 127.45 yesterday. We kick off this morning around 127.15 against the dollar. We're 116.45 against the euro, and euro dollar is around 109.15 on the open. And I better go and clock off and make sure my dog's safe from the car behind. All the best.
If you do not have a clue, then just tweet through and ask FxPlew.